Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Deen and Chai, a conversational space to talk about Deen over a cup of chai, tea, coffee. Today I've got a nice red raspberry hibiscus tea, and today inshallah we'll be talking about Surah Al-Qari'ah. So let's just jump right into the first few verses inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم القارعة ما القارعة وما أدراك ما القارعة.
So we have Al-Qari'ah. What is Al-Qari'ah and what would make you know what is Al-Qari'ah? Now, this format, this questioning really brings our attention to it and really magnifies the importance of this. Al-Qari'ah, we have different words in the Quran for Yawm al-Qiyamah, for the final day, like Yawm al-Din, the day of Deen, Al-Haqqa, Al-Sakha, and different other names as well. So what is Al-Qari'ah? The surah opens up bringing our attention. What is Al-Qari'ah and what would make you know? This phrasing, وَمَا أَدَرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ, what would make you know? In the Quran, when we see this phrasing used, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ, what would make you know? Allah brings this question and then He gives us the answer. So we will see the answer in the next few verses, inshallah, explaining what this day is. Al-Qari'ah is translated literally into a striking blow, a sound, large, big sound that brings your attention. So what is this blow? When does this happen? We will see in the next few verses that this blow refers to the time of resurrection, and now the final day has happened. So this blow happens, and then He gives us more detail on this day in the next few verses. So let's take a look, inshallah.
يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث.
So people on this day will be like scattered moths. Imagine the scene. Everyone is now back and hurrying and rushing and scattering and in every direction. It's a scene of mayhem, of madness. Everybody on top of each other, flowing in different directions, scattered, so many people in every direction. So it gives us an imagery of what this day is going to be like, describing us like scattered moths, so many of us in every direction, scattered around.
وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش.
And then the mountains will be like cotton or wool. These mountains, these massive, heavy mountains that are holding down earth, that's how Allah describes it in different verses in the Quran, that these mountains are like pegs holding down earth. Now He's telling us these mountains will be like cotton or wool, just floating by, so light, like nothing.
فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية.
And then He tells us the condition of the people, the condition that we will be in on this day. So now resurrection has happened and now we will be held accountable for what we did in this dunya. So He tells us about scales, and He says whoever scales are heavy, meaning heavy with good deeds, then this person will be content. This person will be in a life of bliss.
وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية.
But the person whose scales are light in good deeds, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. He tells us his refuge will be an abyss. And notice He uses the word here. In Arabic, we use it for mother as well, because that is your home, that is your refuge. Now He's using the same word here, telling us your refuge, your home, will now be an abyss. For the person whose scale is light in deeds, that will be their refuge, that will be their home or their accommodation. It will be abyss.
وما أدراك ما هي.
And then Allah tells us وما أدراك ما هي. Again, we see the same phrasing being used. What would make you realize what that is? وما أدراك. So we know now He's going to give us the answer, because we said earlier when He gives us this phrasing وما أدراك, He then gives us the answer. So the next verse explains more what this abyss is, what their home is, what their refuge is.
نار حامية.
A fire, intensely hot, a raging fire. That is their home, their refuge, their abyss. May Allah protect us from this outcome, and may He make us from the people who have heavy scales of good deeds, inshallah, who are content with their outcome and in a life of bliss, inshallah. So that brings us to the end of the surah, a short surah but a heavy one, describing the events in the final day and when we will be held accountable for our deeds, and reminding us of our purpose here, and reminding us, inshallah, to put our focus in the right place and put our focus in good deeds, inshallah, so that we can be of the people who are content later, inshallah. And with that brings us to the end of the video, and inshallah we'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.